But, you know, they're wise guys. They're saying, well, you don't know. Maybe you don't know the answer. Maybe you don't know. I say, I know the answer, but I don't want to really tell all these answers because, you know, I have a real chance of getting elected. And if I get elected, I don't want the enemy to know all this stuff, right? But it got so bad, you know, you still have to get there. You still have to get there. So about probably a year ago, I said, take the oil, bomb the oil, take the oil, give some of the oil to the wounded warriors and to the parents of soldiers that are lost, parents of soldiers that were killed in Iraq. Give them some. It's peanuts compared to what the value is. Spread it around. Take care of our wounded warriors. Take care of our vets. And take care of families that lost sons and daughters. And what do we end up with? Take care of them. Just take care of them. And, you know, just so sad to see it. And then they all said, I remember Obama had some of the generals commenting on my plan. Oh, that won't work. Well, as soon as Paris happened, they started bombing the oil. This should have been done years ago. But they want to bomb. I want to bomb, but I want to take. I want to bomb, and I want to take. And we'll do a little ring around, and we'll be just fine. I want to take the oil, okay? But, you know, the sad part is that I have to tell everybody what it is, you know, because that's, I guess, the system in which we live. If I don't say that, they'll say, well, Trump doesn't really have a plan. And I really said, I'll never forget, probably 6-7 months ago, they were saying, well, what's your plan? I'd rather not tell you. That doesn't play well in a democracy, right? But I'd rather not tell you. Oh, please, tell us what it is. You must tell us. Oh, you don't have a plan. So finally I said, look, you're going to bomb. And actually, the guy I was telling it to, the announcer, said, that's a good idea. I said, yeah, it's a good idea. Now, you know, Obama didn't want to go full scale in the oil. And this I hear is true. I don't know. Maybe it's hard to believe. Because he didn't want to create environmental pollution. You do know that. He didn't want to bomb the oil because of pollution. Look at Al, he's laughing. It's hard to believe, isn't it? It is hard to believe. You know it's a true story. He didn't want to bomb the oil because if you bomb the oil, pollution will go to the atmosphere where it will be thrown away into the system in about 2 seconds. But pollution will go up and it'll be... Now, I don't know, Al, I don't know if it's 100% true, but I have heard that. And I'm not surprised because that's the way we're running things. We don't know what we're doing. So take the oil. Be strong. Do all of these things. And we're going to have a country that's going to be so great again. We have to bomb the hell out of them. We have to bring our troops back home. We have to be paid. All these countries, you know, we're protecting. We have a budget that's so many times higher than number 2 because we're protecting Japan. We're protecting Germany. We're protecting South Korea against the maniac in North Korea. We're protecting Saudi Arabia. Ooh, how wealthy is Saudi Arabia? We're protecting. They pay us peanuts. Peanuts. We can change this whole thing around fast. But you have to put a guy like me in, believe me. You have to put a guy like me. And just, okay, are you ready? Here's a quiz. Here's a quiz. You ready? Who's going to pay for the wall? Mexico. Mexico's paying for the wall. Now, the politicians come up to me during the debate. One of them came up. Don, you know Mexico's not going to pay for the wall. I said, of course they are. They're making a fortune. We have a trade deficit. You wouldn't believe it. They're making a fortune. They took Ford. They took Nabisco. They're taking all our... Of course they're going to pay. That's peanuts. And the wall is peanuts, too. You know, the wall is 1,000, basically, it's 2,000 miles across. But we only need 1,000 miles of wall, okay? Even less, but let's say 1,000. We want to do a super-duper job, right? We want one that absolutely, we want no wrinkles. But we're going to do a wall, and it's going to be 1,000 miles. So China, right? Great Wall of China. China, 2,000 years ago, built a wall that's 13,000 miles long. 13,000! And that wall is seriously big, by the way. You look at that sucker, you're not getting through that one easy. So, you know, we have a little better material nowadays, like prefab. They didn't have prefab. They had let's lug stones over there. But China, 2,000 years ago, did this incredible job, and they built a 13,000-mile wall. We have 1,000 miles. We can do it so fast, so easy. But the guys, the politicians, have no idea. One of the reasons, you know, it was going to be built. But one of the reasons, this is another environmental story, one of the reasons it didn't get built. Now, here's a wall for security, for safety. One of the reasons it didn't get built is they couldn't get their environmental impact study approved. Can you believe this? Meaning a snake, a tortoise, a snail, something with... nobody knows more about environmental impact statements than me, believe me. You got to get them through. You got to get them through. Sort of interesting. In the South China Sea, China's building islands, fortresses. They're building runways, military. And they have these massive excavators, massive, with buckets half the size of this room, and they're scooping into the ocean. It's the South China Sea. Won't have any impact, believe me. Okay? They're digging and throwing and digging, and they're building these massive islands in the middle of the sea. And we can't do a wall. It's crazy. And I said to a friend of mine from China, I said, let me ask you a question. And I was kidding. How long did it take them to get their environmental income statement approved, but to get their environmental statements approved? How long did it take? And he looks at me and says, oh, we don't do that. We don't do. Let me tell you. They said, let's do it. You know when they started digging? The following day. With this country, it's like, let's go through 20 years of environmental research on a poisonous snake that we want to keep alive, okay? So we don't know what we're doing. So we're going to make our country great. It's going to be greater than ever before. We're going to have a good time doing it. New Hampshire, I want to thank you, because from day one, everybody has said that you're with me, and I love you. I love you. I love you. And we had a couple events like 2 weeks ago in New Hampshire where the weather was so bad. In fact, my pilot said, no, Mr. Trump, this is something you shouldn't do. What was that? Is that a dog? Uh-oh. It's Hillary. Only in New Hampshire, right? That was first it was the squeaky dog, then it was a very serious dog, right? Anyway, that's all right. Take good care of your dogs. But, you know, we had a case 2 weeks ago where the weather was so bad, 2 or 3 times up here, so tough, so that I shouldn't have, that the pilot said, well, you probably shouldn't do it. I said, how many people are there? Whatever it was. I said, where is it? It's a corner of New Hampshire. I said, those people have been so good to me. Really genius. Go get it. Go to it. And we landed, we did our thing, and we left. We love New Hampshire, and it's a great honor. Let's take a couple of questions. Go ahead. Where's the mics? Who's got the mics? We'll take some questions. Kevin, let's go. Who's got one? Right here. I know this lady. Good.
Hello, Mr. Trump.
Hi.
I'm Dee.
Hi, Dee.
William.
Right.
I'm the grandmother.
Right, I remember.
Okay. I wanted to ask you what you think about the Second Amendment and what you plan to do about it, and especially with something crazy like going after people on Social Security.
Yeah, they want to go after people on Social Security. First of all, Social Security, we're going to take back our jobs, we're going to make our country rich again, we're going to save you Social Security, we're not doing any cutting, okay? I'm about the only one that says that. You've been paying in. You've been paying in your Social Security. So rest assured. And as far as Second Amendment, I love that question. We are going to protect. We are going to protect our Second Amendment. Nobody's going to touch it. Nobody's going to touch it. One other thing, you know, speaking of New Hampshire, they want to move you to the middle of the pack. You know that, right? For some reason. But there's a big move next time to move you to the middle of the pack. There's a great tradition and history to New Hampshire being right here, which really is the first voting state in Iowa, which is great people with the caucus. But I will tell you that we are not moving you, and we are not moving Iowa. So I win. You're not moving. You're not moving. You know, if you move all of a sudden you won't see anybody. That wouldn't be any fun, right? But you're not moving. But there's a big move to move you back into the middle of the pack. It's not going to happen. I win. It's not going to happen. Not going to happen. Zero chance. Okay? Okay. Let's go. Okay, go ahead. Do it yourself. Alex Jones. He was a nice guy, actually. You like him? Oh, that's good. Alex Jones. Nice guy. Go ahead.
Hi, my name is Haley. I'm 16 years old, and you always say you're going to hire the best people to work under your administration.
Right.
Who are the best people?
Well, many different people, and they come from all over, and they're all different. But one of the things, and one of the groups of people I talk about all the time, I know the greatest business people in the world, the greatest in the world. And we're going to use them for our trade deals now, folks. We're not going to use political hacks. So we end up in this crazy deal where we lose the job, where we lose our money, and we lose everything else. And the other thing is administration with the VA. We're going to get the greatest administrators. We're going to put them into the Veterans Administration. We're going to take care of it. Military, I'm going to find the right guys. We're going to find General Goff. We're going to find General Patton, meaning a young General Patton. young General MacArthur. We're going to find great leaders in our military, and they're there. You know, whether it's West Point or Annapolis or the Air Force Academy, we have great people here. We don't use them. Maybe they were a little bit rough. Maybe they one time used a bad word. So now he's not going to be a general, even though he's 10 times better than anybody else. We're going to find our great people, and we are going to use them. Maybe you'll be one of those people. And by the way, speaking of great people, I have my daughter, Ivanka. Come on.
Children are graduating with tremendous debt.
I know.
And what are you going to be able to do to help them get the debt down and find jobs?
Right. Okay. The most important thing is jobs. I must tell you, and more than any other question, especially when I'm in certain areas like this or in schools, I get the questions in schools. The kids are choking on debt. They're borrowing the money. And what the colleges are doing is they're taking the federal money. They don't view the kids. Kids are like a middleman. You understand that? So they get this loan. And the colleges now all of a sudden say, well, we're going to pay more to ourselves. And you see what's going on with the cost of colleges. And the big loser in this is the children, because the children have all of this debt, and they're basically passing it on from the government to the college. And the colleges make a fortune. The government is actually making money. It's probably the only thing the government makes money on. You know that. The most profitable thing, we're going to do something to get those costs down. But we're going to do two things. We're going to knock the hell out of the costs, because what they're doing in the colleges is really unfair. You understand what I mean? They're just raising it. It's going up like astronomically because they have all this money from the federal government through the children. We're going to do something very, very profound. You're going to like me a lot in about 6 months, especially if I get in. You're going to really like me. The other thing, the second part, and this is almost more important, ultimately, because you'll have kids, maybe your daughter or maybe your child, where they go out, they go to a college, they put debt up to their neck, they can't breathe, they work hard, they get great marks, they're good students, and then they graduate, they can't get a job. I'm taking a job back from China. I'm taking a job back. You look at what NASA, you look at what happened to New England, you look at what happened to New Hampshire. We're bringing our jobs back. Because ultimately, that's going to be the most important. We're not going to be the stupid people anymore. We're bringing our jobs back. Thank you, everybody. You're amazing people.